Jets Ward.
Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. Got a fun one for you. But first, if you've been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. It is a great place to be because you guys keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here in the Jets Ward. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, it seems like the biggest conversation for the New York Jets is who's going to be the quarterback. And what I've done today is I'm going to be giving you 11, in my opinion, 11 realistic options for the New York Jets quarterback in 2026 and maybe beyond. We don't know, but potential vet options of quarterbacks that I think are realistic for the New York Jets in 2026 and maybe 2027 as well. So only focusing on the vet options. It could be from free agency. It could be through trades. Spoiler alert already. I don't think the Jets are going to pull a big move and try to trade for a Joe Burrow. I don't think he'd want to come here anyway to the New York Jets. Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think the new head coach of Baltimore, whoever it is, I think they're going to really want Lamar there and focus their offense around him. And I don't think they're going to try to pull off a swing for Jalen Hurts or a CJ Stroud or anybody like one of the big name quarterbacks that's starting in the league right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be looking more of like veterans who just need a change of scenery, possibly free agents that might look at a last gasp of starting ability for the New York Jets as a bridge option. And I'm going to go through 11 of those guys. And some of you guys most of them you've already heard before. And I'm going to throw some other ones at you and why they would make sense for the New York Jets. So let's get right into it. And the first guy I'm going to talk to you guys about is none other than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I think, is going to end up getting cut by the Arizona Cardinals. And I think he'd take basically a vet minimum deal because the Cardinals are going to be paying him a boatload of money if they cut him. The Jets could trade for him as well, but it really depends on what you want to give up for Kyler. The Cardinals, I think, inevitably cut him. I don't think they get anything for Kyler. They've already proved that they don't want him there. He seems like he wants to go somewhere else as well. So the new head coach, I think, would want their own quarterback in there. So Kyler Murray, why he would make sense for the New York Jets? Well, one, he's still only 28 years old. Yes, he's not the biggest guy, and injuries are a concern, but he has flashed in the NFL. He has done very, very well. He's made it to the playoffs before. He's a veteran. He's been successful in this league. I still think he can be successful behind a better offensive line like the New York Jets have. I think the offense, it might not fit him perfectly, but I think he can adapt to it as a vet. I think he is willing to prove that he can still be a legit starter in this league. And I think the Jets would provide him that opportunity. Now, it would be a big step. What would the Jets be willing to give Kyler a 1 to 2 year deal to be a bridge option? Would he want to be a bridge quarterback? I think he would. Maybe a 2-year deal to prove that he can still start in this league. Again, he's only 28. The injuries are piling up on him, but I still think that he is, when healthy, one of the more accurate quarterbacks in this league. He's very versatile on the run, and he's got better arm than a lot of people think as well. I think he could fit here. And out of all the quarterbacks that are going to be on the market, I think he gives the most upside, whether a free agency or proven talent. So Kyler Murray could definitely be the New York Jets starting quarterback in 2026, whether you like it or not. I think if he is, I wouldn't be ecstatic, but I would understand why Aaron Glenn and Muji would go with a Kyler Murray because the upside that he could still have. And the success he's shown in the league already. Now, continuing on, the next option, another guy that we've talked about, It's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a wily vet. I don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to keep Kirk. I think he's going to keep Penix and possibly bring one of his own guys in. Kirk Cousins, they restructured his contract. I think he makes it to the open market. And as a bridge option, I don't think you can get better than Kirk Cousins. He's 37 years old. I don't think he's going to last in the league much, much longer, probably 1 or 2 more years. That's exactly what the Jets need in their next quarterback. They need a veteran, somebody that they can draft a guy to sit behind. So let's say the Jets do go with a Ty Simpson. Perfect person for him to sit behind and learn from would be Kirk. He's a veteran. He's a leader in the locker room. People gravitate towards him. He's willing to help out the younger generation as well at this stage in his career. And I think he fits our system the best. It's a power system, a run system. Run first. You're going to use Breece Hall if we re-sign him, and play action. I think Kirk Cousins can still thrive in that type of system. And he's got a decent offensive line. He's a statue back there, but with some decent protection, I still think he can read defenses. I still think he has some good arm talent there. He's still accurate. I think he won't put you in a situation that's going to hurt the team. He just needs to play conservative ball. And if the Jets get even a competent quarterback play, they can be a good team, especially if the defense takes a step forward. So Kirk Cousins is somebody I can definitely see as a major realistic option for the New York Jets in 2026. I don't know if the Jets, again, don't know if he's trading, if we're going to trade for him, but if he's on the open market and would be willing to take a smaller deal to come to start, I think it would be a good move for him and the New York Jets. So Kirk Cousins is another one. And another name that's been thrown around as well, Tua Tagovailoa. This isn't my favorite option, but Tua has had success in this league when he is healthy. Now, the injuries, the concussions have taken their toll on him. Proved it this past year. He got benched for Quinn Ewers. But when he's right, he is one of the more accurate quarterbacks in this league. He's just got to find the old Tua, the one where he was throwing for over 4,000 yards in the league. He struggled mightily this year. And I don't know whether it was the system that he was in, if it was just that he wasn't reading defenses properly, what was going on. But he took a major step back. I think he needs a reset. Maybe that could be with the Jets. He'd stay in the division, so he's used to the teams that he's playing. And maybe this system could be the right fit for him. We're not going to ask him to take deep shot after deep shot like they were trying to do in Miami. And he could rely on the run game. I know he had Devon Achane in Miami, but I think he could rely on Breece if we bring him back. He has a solid tight end in Mason Taylor. Garrett Wilson's a legit number 1 receiver. And if we build some more around him and provide him a better offensive line, because you could tell he had a lot of happy feet back there behind that offensive line in Miami, then the Jets could get something out of him. They might to just dink and dunk, protect the football. I think the Jets could win with that and will live with that. We don't need him to throw for 300, 400 yards a game. If he is consistent, 250, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, then I think that's winning football that Tua can bring to the New York Jets. And he's got experience in the playoffs. No, he hasn't won, but he's at least been there and done that and has proved that he can be successful in this league. So Tua is another option that I think is very, very possible for the New York Jets. Getting into the next one, a big name that people are going for that we really want in free agency, that is Malik Willis. The guy has turned his career around in Green Bay, drafted by the Tennessee Titans, looked like a complete and utter bust, definitely knew he was a project coming in, but Texans dumped him right away. Ends up going to Green Bay and backs up Jordan Love for many times. And every time he's come in, he's been successful. He protects the ball. He's got a decent arm, can make plays happen with his legs, and just reads defenses very, very well. He's got the most, as a player that could still be franchise quarterback, he is the guy you'd want to go at. But based on what you've seen from Green Bay, he might be a little bit more pricey. If the Jets are willing, if they're not happy with any of the quarterbacks in this draft, they could take a shot and pay Malik Willis 2 to 3 years, maybe 4, for that upside. Banking on what we wanted from Justin Fields with upside and a potential franchise quarterback, maybe we can get it with Malik Willis. I know a lot of fans are really hot on him right now. He played very well whenever he got his shot. He looked very composed back there, throwing the ball very good, running the ball very good, protecting it, which is the most important. Still only 26 years old, still has a lot of potential in this league. Somebody who I can definitely see starting in this league. Maybe it's with the New York Jets in 2026, but that would be a big move that shows the Jets are not happy with some of the quarterbacks in this draft class. Now, it doesn't deter them. Let's say if they struggle, if they do sign him and they struggle, does not deter them away from taking a quarterback in 2027. But at least if you take Malik Willis, then you can build this team out to make it better around him, or for any potential quarterback coming in 2027 if the Jets do struggle. So he opens up a lot of doors for opportunity with the New York Jets and gives you a ton of upside too as a potential franchise quarterback. Now, continuing on, another name that's been floated around, Marcus Mariota. Perfect bridge quarterback again, similar to Kirk Cousins, has been around for very, very long and has proven to be a solid veteran backup, bridge quarterback. Look at what he's done helping out Jaden Daniels in Washington. Now, I understand Daniels struggled mightily this year and was injured a majority of the season. But when Marcus Mariota came in, he played very well. Not going to blow you away with stats or anything, but he's going to protect the ball. He's going to take his shots. He can still move around the pocket. And he still has some left in the tank. Something that he can provide for you, give to you. I thought about Jameis Winston as well, but Marcus Mariota, I think, would fit our system and open up a lot and be a great, great leader for a young quarterback coming in. I think you do take a quarterback in this draft if you do sign Marcus Mariota, and somebody like a Ty Simpson or a Carson Beck or a Drew Aller or a Nussmeier, one of those guys could be perfect to sit behind Marcus Mariota for a season. And if he struggles, then you take a shot on one of the younger guys that you drafted. If not, if he plays well, then you'll let that young guy learn and sit for a year, redshirt a year, and possibly become the franchise quarterback after Mariota's gone. All right. So this is something that would be a short-term solution as a bridge option, but could be very beneficial to at least let a young guy sit behind him and learn. And he's very willing to learn. Jaden Daniels went so high as to say that how much Mariota's been helpful for his career so far, especially his rookie year, how much he relied on him and how much Marcus Mariota helped him. I think Marcus Mariota could do the same thing in New York with a young guy coming in as well. Next one, good old Joe Flacco. The guy's still slinging it around, still has proven that he has a cannon of an arm. If he gets some protection, he can make plays happen. Now, is he going to transcend a team to the playoffs? No, I don't think so. But he'll make the plays that he needs to. He doesn't have the same old mobility as he used to, and he was never really the most mobile quarterback, but he's a leader. People respect Joe Flacco, and he was a former Jet as well and played decent here. Jets fans were upset to see him go because he could have been our bridge quarterback and somebody who helped Zach Wilson or somebody who could have helped another young quarterback coming in here. So Joe Flacco is somebody who is very trustworthy. Somebody you could definitely see start him and see what you get out of him. And if it's not working out, you have him sit and he could still mentor a young quarterback. I think Carson Beck would be a perfect one to sit behind him. Similar play style. I think Carson Beck has very good ability to read a defense as well and make plays. And I think Flacco can give him some tips and things to help him mold his game after and become a solid quarterback for the future. So Joe Flacco, another great option as a bridge quarterback for the New York Jets, has played here, been in the New York media, and has shown that he can still sling the rock. I know it wasn't too successful with Cleveland this past year, but he won some games with Cincy, made them competent when Burrow was down. So somebody I think the Jets could rely on for a season. Not further than that, but just for a season, because I don't think Flacco has much longer in the tank. Next, big trade option. A big name that people have been talking about. Tanner McKee, only 25 years old. He's a big prototypical size as a quarterback. Very limited starts. Only 2 starts, I believe. But in those games, he looked great. He was able to read defenses. He was able to make every single throw. Doesn't have a cannon of an arm, but a good enough arm to win games and to push the ball downfield when you need to. He's got a little bit of mobility to move around the pocket as well. Solid pocket awareness. Now, it would be a trade option. So what would the Eagles be willing to part with him? What would you need to give? I think you need to give around a 3rd round pick, maybe more if you can give a couple of picks, a 4th round and maybe some future capital. Maybe you throw in a player like that. I think that could help out to get Tanner McKee here. The kid could be a franchise quarterback. The Eagles value this kid a lot. So if they want to move on from Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee could be the guy to come in and step up and be the franchise for the Eagles. But I just don't think the Eagles are willing to move off Hurts yet, especially with that contract. And Tanner McKee, I think there's going to be teams that are going to be interested in him. The Jets could be one of them to see he has the prototypical size. He's a big guy, smart player, not going to get you into trouble, not going to turn the ball over. Somebody who can be a starter in this league possibly. So somebody who doesn't have a lot of starts and hasn't proven much in this league, but somebody with boatloads of upside. So Tanner McKee could be a very realistic option for the New York Jets. Somebody Jets fans have been talking about as well. Now, here's a big name one as well. Davis Mills. Davis Mills is a very interesting option. He's only 27 years old. He's got that big size as a quarterback, strong arm, very smart, good reading the pocket, good reading defenses as well, leader. Players respect him. And good starting ability. He's proven that he's a starter in this league. He started for the Texans before CJ Stroud got there. And even now, Texans fans were calling for him to CJ to get benched in that Patriots game and to have Mills come in because they thought he gave them a better shot at winning. And honestly, he could have. I don't know how fans are or what the Texans feel about CJ Stroud at this point. Still a young quarterback and had a down year. Maybe he can rebound next year, but Davis Mills proved that he's a starter in this league and somebody who you build an offense around him can succeed. And somebody a lot of fans I think would be happy to get. Now, he's proven that he can be a starter. It's not going to be cheap. I think the Texans would be asking for a 2nd round pick at least for Davis Mills. And I don't know if the Jets are willing to pay that price. Maybe future picks, but it would be a steep ask. No 1st round pick or anything like that, but most likely a 2nd. He's still not old. He's still young and has been solid in this league. And somebody I think the Jets possibly could be willing to trade for. And I think I'd be very happy. I think he'd be the best option on this list for the New York Jets. If we're being honest, I think Davis Mills would be top option. I think Tanner McKee would be a very fun option. Kirk Cousins might be the most perfect bridge option, but Davis Mills I think would be the best option as a starter possibly for the future of your team and for the short term as well. And then build a team around him. And I think you can compete. I really do with Davis Mills. I think he's proven that he can play. And putting him behind an offensive line like the Jets, Texans offensive line is not good. And putting Davis Mills in a system where it's all about run first and play action, I think that fits his strengths very, very well. And you got Garrett Wilson as his number 1. You re-sign Brees and have a solid back in the backfield. You have Mason Taylor, who's proven that he can be solid in this league as well. And he gets some more weapons around him. I think he could be a legit starter for the New York Jets if the Jets were willing to trade for him. So Davis Mills, very interesting option at this point. Then the next one is a name that's been spread around a lot, Mac Jones. Mac Jones, again, 27 years old, 6'3", 220, played very, very well when Brock Purdy was down this year, and somebody who flourished in that offense over there, that Kyle Shanahan offense. My worry is you take him out of that offense. Is he still going to produce the same? I don't think so. I think he's a system quarterback. Any quarterback that plays under Kyle Shanahan is going to play very, very well unless your name is Trey Lance. Mac Jones fits that system perfectly. Now, can that success translate over to the New York Jets? Maybe we run a very similar style where it's, again, run first, play action. Mac Jones has been in this division before when he was playing with the Patriots, so he knows the New York Jets. He knows the media. He knows the division, what he's up against. So I just don't trust him. I honestly don't. I think he would be very expensive too. I really do. Davis Mills, I said second-round pick. With how Mac played, he played very well when he got the chance to start. He could also be a go for a second-round pick, maybe a late-round first. I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't be willing to do that. I honestly wouldn't. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's a solid backup, low-end starter who is I think he's more of a system fit for the 49ers. I don't know how that would translate over to the New York Jets. Now, could it happen? Yes. The Jets have been rumored to be wanting to go after vet quarterbacks. Mac Jones could be the biggest one on the list. So he's out there. Would he fit the system? Perhaps. I think he would. But I think he is a Shanahan type of quarterback. I think he's perfect for the Niners as a backup quarterback to Purdy. Can make starts for you when Purdy goes down because Purdy always gets hurt inevitably every season. And Mac Jones could be a solid backup there. I don't know how that would translate over to the New York Jets. I don't know if I'd be willing to take that shot and trade a lot for him. But I know a lot of fans are very interested in Mac Jones. So if they did it, I could understand why they would do it. It wouldn't be my favorite, though. Another realistic option. I know fans are going to hate this one. Deshaun Watson. And I know fans are not going to like this one. But the reason I say Deshaun Watson is the Browns are going to need a new coach. They drafted Dylan Gabriel. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders actually proved that he could play a little bit last year. So maybe he could be your future. A new coach coming in might want to draft their own guy as well. Deshaun Watson's coming off an injury. And he didn't play well when he was healthy there under Stefanski. He's got a boatload of money that the Browns are going to need to pay. The Jets could potentially trade for him, but the Browns would have to eat tons of that cap space. The Jets, would not want to pay that contract. It's an albatross of a contract. But I think if the Browns were willing to eat a majority of that contract, he's not my first choice. I don't want it to seem like I'm rooting for it to happen. But I think he would fit the Jet system more than what Stefanski tried to have him do in Cleveland. I think he's more of run-first guy, not him per se, but you hand it off and let the guys go, and then you play action. I think that's where his strengths are in Deshaun Watson. Again, coming off an injury, he was looking great in his workouts and everything, looking like he could still sling it, could still play. So maybe he could be a good fit for the New York Jets and be a bridge option and maybe go back to the Watson of old where he was an elite quarterback in this league. But you're banking on him reverting back to that old play style of Watson where he made plays, unscripted plays, got out of the pocket, ran for first downs, and was thrown on the run. And you're trying to bank on his health because he's been injured since going to the Browns. He's been injured a majority of the time, and it's been some serious injuries. Can you trust it? And he's got a very checkered past. I don't know if that would be something that would come to bite him in New York. I think it's a realistic option, but it's not an option I would go down. Definitely not with Deshaun Watson. So he's up here as an option, but I don't know if the Jets would actually do it. Now, my last option, number 11, an old friend, somebody who's been mentioned more for the New York Jets, Geno Smith. Now, Geno, awful season with the Raiders. I just don't think that marriage, him and Pete Carroll coming back together, I don't think that worked out at all. He didn't have an offensive line blocking for him. He barely had any weapons. Brock Bowers was hurt. Ashton Genty didn't really get it going. In general, it was just a rough season for that Raiders offense and Geno specifically. The turnover numbers popped up a lot more and just didn't seem like he wanted to be there. He was seen not being so kind to the fans there. So I think the Raiders might end up cutting him. And I think that would be the best move for both parties because we know the Raiders are going with Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall. I don't think they're going to want Geno Smith. I don't think Geno Smith wants to be there at all. I don't think he wants to be a bridge quarterback or a mentor quarterback, knowing his time's almost up with the Raiders. Have him come back to the New York Jets. It could be a very good fit for him, where you're not asking him to do too much. Just protect the ball. Take some deep shots when you see them. But protect the ball, hand the ball off to Brees. Throw short passes over the middle. Play action. If you need to run for a first down, he's still got the legs to do it. I think him coming back to the New York Jets, I'd be more willing for that than a Deshaun Watson trade or anything like that. But Geno could be a very interesting option because he could come back and you could pay him of that minimum salary. I don't think he's going to be asking a lot especially after this year. I don't think he's going to be getting a lot if they do cut him. And you can sign him for a 2-year deal. He could be your starter for this year. You draft a quarterback next year, like a Julian Sayin, a Carr, a Lenore Sellers, Dante Moore, somebody like that, and have them sit behind him next year. And then you have your franchise quarterback the year after. And who knows, maybe Geno Smith can win you some games, get you to be competitive. Anything could happen. This could be his down year, and it only goes up from here. So these are all the realistic options that I have for you guys. Let me know if you think I'm missing anybody. I know there's probably tons of quarterbacks that I haven't talked about that you're probably like, hey, why not this guy? What would a trade look like? I would love to hear your comments down in the comment section. I'll try to respond as fast as I could. And make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos. I try to post as much as I can, sometimes 2 times a day. And again, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.